All right, guys, so we're here today. We're 6 weeks out from the New York Pro. I can barely form sentences right now, so I'm gonna get this pre-workout in me. What I'm doing, I'm going back to my old roots. Pre-HD Ultra, Dragon Fruit, Pre-HD Elite, Mixed Berry. These, 1 scoop of each, this is my favorite combo. Best pump, best focus. Make sure you use code STRAND. You're gonna save 10% off, and you're gonna fuel these biceps for more growth. Shout out to Rebel Fit Nutrition. He's always hooking me up, sending me out whatever I need across Canada. He's got the mugs, he's got the shaker cups, he's got the clothing. So you can use code BEEF10. You can order from rebelfitnutrition.ca, anywhere in Canada, free shipping. So when we're getting ready for our back workout, we're thinking about 2 things. We want mobility in our shoulders, and we want mobility in and around our hips. The lats and the back have attachments in our shoulders, our hips, and all along the spine. So we want to pay attention to hips and spine mobility. A lot of the times, most people are doing shoulder warm-ups with their bands. These are all great things to do, but I'm going to show you one mobility warm-up that's going to help you get ready for your lower body or back sessions that you've never seen before, that's going to drastically improve your performance. So let's get right into it, guys. So the first one we're working with is called an inchworm. One of the silliest looking exercises, but it's also one of the best for your spinal mobility, spinal health. So what we're going to be doing here, we're getting into a dead bug position. I'm going to be using flexion in my spine, extension in my neck. At the same time, I'm going to flex my neck, extend my spine. So I'm using my head and neck to push and my tail to pull. Head and neck push, tail pull. 10 to 15 in one direction. When we change directions, things get more complicated. We're going to be using the side of the head and one glute. So the reverse, like I said, more complicated. It's going to look like this. So now I'm using my head to pull and my tail to push. So I'm getting lots of motion throughout my spine and hips, getting things feeling nice and loose. I'm gonna go into a butt walk. The butt walk is very similar, but we're gonna be in this position where my legs are relaxed, feet are relaxed. I'm gonna be using my glutes to push and walk with, without using a lot of my shoulders. So it'll look like this. Glute, glute, glute. And I'm trying to move my hips. So I'm getting this motion in my hips, reversing direction, so I'm motion, inchworm, butt walk. Now I'm loose. I'm ready to do some heavy deadlifts. I'm ready to do some heavy rack pulls, whatever I need. Spine, hips, we're ready to go. Let's get to our first workout. First exercise that I'm gonna pick for my back workout is gonna be a lat pullover. I'm picking a machine because I don't wanna mess around with dumbbells. I find that this machine fits me really well, and I'm not a huge fan of doing pullovers on a cable because I feel like this will give me a better stretch. So there's a couple common mistakes that people make on their pullovers, especially when they're using a machine. But just in general, the idea with a pullover is not that I'm trying to get back as far as possible, because the most common thing that I'll see is people will relax their stomachs and allow this stretch to happen. So what I would like to see is a contraction of the abs, which limits my stretch to where my shoulder is able to go only. Now, what I'm trying to do here is protract my shoulder, meaning I'm trying to push my shoulder forward as much as possible. So you can see this forward shoulder action. And as I'm going up, I'm still pushing my shoulder forward. And that's gonna limit me, because if I stop pushing forward, I'm gonna just end up going backwards and lose the contraction in my lats. So the thing here is that I'm trying to shove that shoulder forward the whole time. And as I get down to here, this is where the movement changed to a backwards motion. Up until that point, it's forward, 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 and down, then back. Yeah. Ooh. Exercise number 2, we're gonna go for some pull-ups. I'm using the assisted pull-up machine because I'm taking some of the weight off my body so I can make the movement more effective for targeting my lats. The biggest mistake that I see on pull-ups is this arching of the back. So as you're doing your pull-up, if we're trying to target our lats, we gotta consider that keeping this rib cage down and having our elbow driving straight down is gonna end up coming down here in the lower lat. But what happens is, if I'm doing my pull-up and I'm leaning back, so I'm pulling and my chest is going up, my rib cage is going up, now my lower lats aren't being targeted anymore. I'm being pulled back here, more rear delts, mid back. So consider where you're pulling. If I'm coming up like this, I'm not gonna be getting as much lat. If I'm here, I'm gonna be getting more lat. So as I demonstrate this one, pay attention to the line of my wrist and elbow staying in front of my shoulder rather than coming behind. So we've done 2 exercises for lats, our pullovers and our pull-ups. My lats are nice and pumped now. So I want to transition into a little bit more upper back. This is such an amazing machine, this prime seated chest supported row, for a number of reasons. So first reason I really like this machine, these handles allow you to get any kind of motion you want, overhand grip, underhand grip, neutral grip, combination. The chest pad, the best thing about this machine is this chest pad allows you to get a really good stretch. So as I'm letting this weight come forward, I'm stretching my back around this chest pad. Now, 2 things I see being the biggest mistakes on this machine. The first mistake is this. I'm in a good position here and my posture looks great. And all of a sudden, I let it go and I've got my head. So now I'm here and I'm trying to pull. I've got no back to pull from. I'm also not even allowing my back to open up fully like this. So number 1 biggest mistake, always keep your chin up or keep your throat open. This open throat position is gonna allow your scapula to move around your spine. And as you pull, keeping that throat open so you can move your shoulders around your spine. So no ducking your head. The second one is not utilizing this chest pad properly. So I'm here on the chest pad. I've got all my weight on the chest pad and I'm able to pull myself through the chest pad. But for some reason, what I see everybody doing is leaning away from it. So now I'm actually losing that external stability. I don't have the stability on the chest pad anymore. So what I would recommend as a really good cue to remember on your back exercises, pulling yourself through the chest pad. I'm pulling through. I'm not trying to bring this back. I'm trying to pull myself through. Fuck 'em, let's go. Oh! Yep. Yeah! Come on! Yeah! 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 Antoine showed me this one. Yeah! All right, so we're gonna be doing a lat pull down. Now the reason why I chose this handle is because if I could only have one pull down handle, it'd be this one. This is the, I believe it's Prime, the Prime handle that allows you to change the grip. So whether you want to go slightly more supinated, more neutral, more overhand grip, you have the option. So I'm using a neutral grip. So like I was talking about with the pull-ups, this idea of keeping everything in front or my shoulders pushed forward, and as I'm driving down, I'm not allowing that retraction to happen as much. I'm trying to keep that almost like an uppercut. Uppercut on the way up, stretch the lat forward, uppercut on the way down too. But I'm being aware that I still want my shoulder to move down, so I'm not coming around this way. This shoulder still has to go forward and up, and then forward and down. So this one here, you can either do it really, really well for your lats, or like I said, you can do it really, really well also for your upper back. So the difference, this is the difference between doing a pull down for your lats, pull down for your upper back. So lat position, we're here, everything in front, up, stretching, driving in front of us, okay? For upper back, we're gonna be going more here. So you see guys or girls leaning back. If I'm leaning back, more upper back. If I'm straight up, more lats. All this to say, there's no right or wrong way to do your pull down necessarily. You just have to have a good idea of what you're trying to target. Am I trying to train my lats? Am I trying to train my traps and rear delts? Make that decision before you do the exercise, and you can set yourself up correctly. Let's get to it. I'm losing my fingers.
You're a rock climber.
We're getting into some spinal erectors on the back extension. Now, there is a right way to do this. There's a wrong way to do this. The wrong way to do this, what I want you guys to notice here is that my back, my spine is not moving, okay? So I'm just staying in extension the whole time, and I'm kind of flexing my glutes and hams to move my hips. So we're trying to train the back today, not glutes, not hams. So we need full spinal flexion. So imagine if there was a big pipe in front of me here, and I'm trying to curl around that pipe. And then as I come up, I'm gonna come up unrolling one vertebrae at a time to the top, and then roll back in one vertebrae at a time. Unroll, one vertebrae at a time. For sure, I mean, with a progression like this one, what you can really focus on is just keeping all your weight closer to the center, and just think about curling your abs, crunch the abs, and then flex back up. Crunch the abs, flex back up. Even if this is too heavy, you could just start with like a very, very light Superman. You're not using any weight, just Superman off the floor. But with this one, you can actually, this is a nice machine here because you can adjust the angle. So for someone who's more of a beginner, if you're struggling with this, if you have this option, you can bring the angle up. So the more upward angle I am, the less weight over my body I'm gonna be. So putting it down lower makes it harder. You know you're doing it right if you got a line on your forehead after. So this one here on the seated lateral raise machine, I love doing rear delts on it. So we're just using the elbow, no hands at all, and really just trying to push out to the side. So it won't be a really big range of motion, but you're definitely gonna feel your rear delts. And I like to add sometimes rear delts on the end of my back workout just to finish off and get that pump. Rear delts, upper back. Do you like what you see? These posing trunks brought to you by KH Customs. You can use code NATMARIE and save yourself some money. Posing suits, any kind, custom made to fit your lifestyle. All right, guys, so let's be real for a second. I really hope that you guys found some of this information useful. I hope you were entertained. I hope you were glued to your screens and you watched all the way through, and now you get to listen to me tell you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.